Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the rainy Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be you can't unsee what you've seen. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So you can't unsee what you've seen. Let's imagine, if you will, you're on the freeway and you saw an accident. Well, you can't unsee what you've seen. You now know that accidents do happen on the freeway. Not only do they happen there, but they happen in your life. The narcissistic relationship that you have now exited, or perhaps you are looking to develop an exit plan from, that is littered with things that you can't unsee. You've experienced behaviors that you didn't think you would experience. You've heard verbal abuse that you never thought a human being could utter those words. Perhaps you were physically abused. You were certainly mentally, spiritually, emotionally, maybe even financially abused. All of these things and so many more are what encompass the narcissistic relationship. The narcissistic relationship is not a relationship built on a solid foundation of trust, of love, of honor, of commitment, of going forward in the same direction. It's built on a house of cards. It's built with sand, quicksand, if you will. The narcissist approached you, they met you, and when they got close to you, they figured out that perhaps you were a kind, loving, stable, healthy individual, maybe even an empath. And then they said to themselves, wow, I can really get this person to fall in love with me, or I can get this person to put a roof over my head, or I can strike up a friendship with this person, or go into business with them. Maybe you just moved into a neighborhood recently. Maybe it's a new city, state, town, country, and you just realized that there's a narcissist in your building or in your proximity. The narcissist will be looking for you, and they will find you until you get the wisdom, until you apply the tools and you insulate and protect yourself and you have boundaries, because the narcissist is everywhere, and they have been everywhere throughout humanity. It's just that now they're coming more and more to the forefront with the advent of the smartphone, the internet, and social media. That is the trifecta of destruction, if you will. Now, this channel on YouTube is what you're watching, you're consuming the content on. YouTube's a great place. It's a very unique place. It is education and it is entertainment. My channel is education, and it is meant to give you the tools and the power to understand that you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. So why I mention that is social media is everywhere. It's not going to go anywhere, and that people will be on their smartphones until a newer, faster device appears. That's not what this video is about. It's about unseeing what you've seen. Think about the cell phone when you were meeting the narcissist. Well, first of all, you didn't know what narcissism was. Second of all, maybe you guys were texting back and forth and they were acting like they really cared about you, and they were sending all the heart emojis and the unicorns and the puppies and all that, and then they would send you really long, lengthy, what appeared to be heartfelt messages. And then what would happen back then, you would be felt compelled to reply with a similar length of message with even more heart emojis or puppies or rainbows, those kind of things. And then what would they do? They would play that game, the texting game, if you will, with you. And they would fake love bomb, they would really love bomb you, but they would fake shower you with fake adoration, fake love, fake empathy. And they would begin to plant seeds in your mind of things that you would be doing in the future. Example, maybe moving in together, maybe relocating, maybe buying them things, maybe putting a ring on their finger, maybe building a house, maybe creating a family, etc. And this went on and on. Next thing you know, you did move in with the narcissist, or most likely they moved in with you. Wedding bells rang, boom, the very next day, devaluation stage is where you are. That's a place where you did not even know existed. The narcissist did, because the narcissist had done this before. And the narcissist is doing it right now. They're manipulating people through their smartphones each and every day. That is why the narcissist, one of the reasons why they can't sit still, because they are on their smartphone every waking minute if they can. They're getting supply from the smartphone. Now, having said all these things, going back to what you can't unsee, you can't unsee that the narcissist wasn't there at the birth of your child. Think about that one. Was the narcissist present? Probably not. Think about the wedding that you had. Was the narcissist there at the wedding for the same purpose that you were there? No, they weren't. They were getting supply from the wedding, from the priest, from the vows, from the ceremony, from the cake, from the honeymoon if you had one, etc. The narcissist, if they did marry you or you married them, the vows you took were not the vows that they took. They took their vows to give themselves a license to abuse you throughout that whole relationship, until you finally woke up and realized that the relationship was not improving. It was deteriorating over time. You can't unsee that. What about all the pictures or the photographs, the videos that you had in that period of time when you were with the narcissist? Were they pictures of happiness and togetherness and fruitfulness and abundance? Or was the narcissist at the far left of the picture and you were at the far right, and in between was potentially the new supply or even supplies? Did the narcissist hide their wedding ring in these pictures? You take a look and see what you find and what you discover. You see, you can't unsee what you've seen. You are now becoming awakened and aware, educated and empowered, and you're understanding that there are narcissists everywhere on the planet, and that if you made it out of a narcissistic relationship, you're fortunate, you're beautiful and blessed. You are a beautiful, bright, shining light, and now you can go no contact with the narcissist if you so choose to do so. If you can't, utilize gray rock. Get off the radar, become dull and boring. Now I'm fast forwarding through that part of the video because I say it in virtually every video. By now you should have received the message that having a narcissistic relationship in your life, it has never served you. In the past, it won't in the present, and it certainly won't in the future. So you need to understand that unseen what you've seen, that's not going to happen. But what you can do is you can heal, and you can slow your life down and make progress, and understand that you can reach the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference, when you really do slow your life down. You heal childhood wounds, you see a therapist, you journal, you meditate, you read, you watch videos, and you really take stock of those people that you surround yourselves with. Because once you get on the rabbit hole of exploration and education, discovering what narcissism is and how it affected you for a period of time, then you naturally look around you, your immediate family members, friends, high school friends, past acquaintances, your neighbor, colleagues, business associates, etc. Again, I'm going to reiterate, I do not walk the planet looking for narcissism. It's the last thing I do. I live my life. I live the life I deserve to live at my own speed, and I do it in my own time. That's what you should be doing. Your life should be drama-free, manipulation-free. It should be a life of abundance, of when the doors of possibilities and opportunities open up for you post-narcissistic relationship, because you can't unsee what you've seen. You've now gone through the narcissistic abusive cycle, and you've come through the fire, risen through the ashes like a phoenix, and you've healed, or you are well on the healing path. Or maybe this is your first video you're consuming. Either way, you're in the right place. You're exactly where you're meant to be. There is no such thing as a coincidence on this planet. You were meant to find this video when you found it, just like I am meant to be creating it right here, right now, in the Carolina rain. That is exactly where I'm supposed to be. And wherever you are consuming this, maybe you're getting ready to go to bed, maybe you're waking up, maybe you're in class, maybe you're taking a break from work, whatever you're doing, maybe you're exercising, that's where you're supposed to be. So again, if the relationship ended recently for you and you think that you should be with the narcissist, I get it, I was there. But the truth of the matter is, the relationship has run its course, it's over, it's done. And if you ended it yourself, you are an extremely strong person. I applaud you. If you were discarded, my heart goes out to you. I know what it's like. It's one of the most challenging things to go through. But picking yourself up, dusting yourself off by the bootstraps, and putting yourself back together when you've processed things about the narcissist and the relationship and all the flying monkeys that you were surrounded by when you were in that period of time. When you do that, that's when you really understand that going no contact is the path. But you can't unsee what you've seen. Think about your birthdays that were blown up. Think about holidays that were blown up. Think about ceremonies or events that you wanted to attend and maybe you did or didn't get to attend. Think about all of the conversations you would have with the narcissist, trying to explain to them, hey, I didn't sign up for this. What's going on? You seem to have changed, and your behavior seems to be caring less and less about me and the relationship as time goes by. And the narcissist would look at you and they'd say, oh, don't be such a baby. What's your problem? Have thick skin. The only person I have a problem with is you. Your mom told me I shouldn't have married you. They'll say things like that to you to rattle you, but to deflect the truth. Because you see, the narcissist does not like many things, but one thing is they don't like the truth. They cannot handle the truth. And that is what you are, a truth teller. That's why you are a beautiful, bright, shining light, and you can't unsee what you've seen. That is why so many people post-narcissistic relationship, once they acquire the wisdom, they sincerely do the best things they can for themselves. And they put themselves as the priority first, second, and third, because no longer are they giving to a fault. No longer are they people-pleasing, and they can say no, the strongest word in the English language. All this takes time. It takes a lot of time. It takes a mountain of time, but in your time, you will reach the pinnacle of indifference, and you will get to the point where you understand that this life is a journey. It's your journey. It's meant to be lived the way you want to live it, with serenity, with calmness, with peace, with abundance, with possibilities, with fresh starts, with new beginnings, with people who care about you, with people having to jump through hoops to get to you. No longer do we just do anything because somebody asks us to do something if we have the ability to do so. That's what we did in the past, and that did not serve us. Because what happened is we met the narcissist and they took advantage of our compassion, our drive, our passion, our love, our energy, and they really did a number on us. But now we've healed, or we're healing, and we understand that although we can't unsee what we've seen, we've experienced some of the most toxic behaviors on the planet, and yet we've come through the fire, we've come through the tunnel, and we now have healed, or we are healing. You see, most people don't go through the relationship, the narcissistic abusive relationship. Many people do, they don't understand what it is. Many people don't get close enough to the narcissist to experience it to the level that you did. Many people don't heal because they don't know, they never find the needle in a haystack, which is that they were with a narcissist. Other people are oblivious. Other people don't want to face the truth. They just mask it and cover it up. And I don't mean that to be comical. They just continue to go through life and act like that relationship wasn't what it was. There are so many different kinds of people. Then there are people like you who have really dug in deep within yourself, and you understand that that relationship, it was a very, very challenging relationship, to say the least. And you did so many things and experienced so many things and saw so many things with your own eyes that you never thought you would. You saw the mask of the narcissist slip multiple times, even though you didn't even know they were a narcissist. You saw them behave like a child many times. You saw what they would do when you would tell them no to a certain thing. You saw how they behaved one way behind closed doors and another way into the general public. You saw what cowards and bullies these people are. You saw how shallow and hollow they are. And yet you also saw how strong you are. And that's another thing that you need to focus on. If you've gone through the cycle and you've come through the fire and risen through the ashes like a phoenix, you know exactly how strong you are, because this has changed your life forever. It's changed the trajectory of your life. It's changed your path. Perhaps before you met the narcissist, you had plans to do A, B, and C. You met the narcissist, all those A, B, and C plans got put on hold, and now you are post-narcissistic relationship, and now you're understanding, wait, A, B, and C, I don't even want to do that anymore. I now want to do D, E, and F. And D, E, and F is actually your path. That's where you should be doing those things, not necessarily A, B, and C, because now you have wisdom you've acquired through the narcissistic relationship, and it's changed the trajectory of your life. It certainly has changed mine, because you can't unsee what you've seen. Now, as far as focus goes, I want to share with you, and I share this so many times in one-on-one sessions, the past is the past. There's nothing we can do about it. We need to take the lifelong learning lessons from the past, specifically from that narcissistic relationship, and we need to apply them to present day. The other thing is, we cannot be predicting the future. Predicting the future will get you nowhere. It's never served you in the past, it won't serve you now, and it can't in the future, because no one's guaranteed to be here tomorrow. All we have is the present moment. We have the here and the now, and that is where you need to be. You need to be present, living present in the present moment. That's the path. That's something you couldn't do when you were in the narcissistic relationship. What you were doing is you were on that roller coaster of emotions, and you were living minute to minute, knowing that the narcissist at any moment could gaslight you, or give you the silent treatment, or throw a rage fit on you, or blame shift you, or triangulate you, my least favorite thing these people do, or they could project on you, or mirror you, or they could ghost you. The narcissist arsenal of tools, there's so many of them. I don't need to go through the list here, but these are all behaviors that were foreign to you, and now they're not. Why? Because you can't unsee what you've seen. You can now, in present day, post-narcissistic relationship, you can identify what triangulation is in a second. You can identify what gaslighting is. You know what the smear campaign is by now. You know what projection is. You know what the silent treatment is. You know how all these people behave, i.e. the narcissist. They all use the same playbook. But back then, when you were in the relationship, you didn't know what you were up against because you had no idea that narcissism existed. Now here you are. You are understanding. You are slowing your life down. You can identify the signs. So this is a superpower for you. It sincerely is. Now, I'm going to share something. If you knew now what you knew then, would you have entered the narcissistic relationship? There's no way you would have. There's no way. You would not have taken a chance on entering that narcissistic relationship with the wisdom you have now. Why would you? It wouldn't serve you. It would try to take you down again for the count. But now you have the wisdom. You need to apply the tools, and you need to understand that coming out of that thing, it's a blessing in disguise. Now, did you want to go through it? No. Would I want to go through it? No. But once you've healed, and you've healed properly, you see the world through a brand new, different set of eyes, the third version of you set of eyes. And this is where you are galvanized, and this is where you have boundaries. And you don't see things the way your average human being sees because of what you have seen in the past. You see, you can't unsee what you've seen. And for you to explain some of the toxic behaviors that you experienced, for you to explain those to an average person, they're going to think that you've got problems, or that never happened, or what an imagination you have, but yet they did happen. Why do you think you journaled or wrote down behaviors of the narcissist when you're in the relationship with them? Why do you think that you could be experiencing, let's say, gaslighting, and then be walking away from the narcissist and saying, what's going on here? It's like, it's almost like I'm in a dream. Is this real? Like, did they just say that? I know for a fact it was this. It wasn't what they said, but you believed them because you were in the devaluation stage and you were hooked on the narcissist, and that's where they wanted you. So you didn't believe yourself, you believed in the mask. Now, post-narcissistic relationship, what happens? You believe in yourself. You understand how powerful you are and how weak the narcissist is. Yes, is the narcissist a master manipulator? Absolutely. Did they get you and capture you for a period of time? They did. Can they do it any longer? No. Do you now have boundaries? Yes. Do you understand that you can't unsee what you've seen? Absolutely, you know that. And you know for a fact that the behaviors that you're thinking about, or you were thinking about, actually took place. Nobody can change the past if you've lived it. Not one person. Please play that again. Nobody can change the past if you've lived it. So if you know your truth and you know what actually happened, that's the truth. You don't wipe it away like the narcissist. You don't get an eraser and make and change the past. You don't gaslight people. That's what the narcissist does. You know exactly what you did. So that's the path. It's understanding you can't unsee what you've seen. It's a very powerful message, but you need to wrap your head around it, because your average human being, again, going back to the analogy, if they saw an accident in the freeway, okay, well, they saw it and then they're just going to let it go. It's like, wow, that was a tough accident. I hope everybody's okay. And they're going to keep driving, and then that'll be out of their mind tomorrow. You can't do that because you came out of the narcissistic relationship, and the things you saw were adding up over and over, more and more. And these things needed to be processed. That's why this relationship is a relationship you need to heal from. That's why your average person can't understand what you're talking about. That is why you really must slow your life down and understand that you need to rebuild, and you need to understand that you can't unsee what you've seen. Everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I love doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You're not alone. I love you all. God bless you. And I'm going to go because there's a little kid crying, and I don't want to. I love you guys. Bye.